Good evening, boys and girls. Our story tonight is Wild About Books, and it's by Judy Sierra. It started the summer of 2002 when the Springfield librarian, Molly McGrew, by mistake drove her bookmobile to the zoo. Molly opened the door and let down the stair. She turned on the computer and sat in her chair. She took the bookmobile to the zoo. At first, the animals watched from a distance, but Molly could conquer the strongest resistance. What do you think's going to happen? By reading aloud from good Dr. Seuss, you know, the Cat in the Hat books, she quickly attracted a mink and a moose, a wombat, an oryx, a lemur, a lynx, 8 elephant calves, and a family of skinks. That's a type of lizard. So by reading aloud, the animals are getting interested. In a flash, every beast in the zoo was stampeding to learn all about this new something called reading. So the animals want to learn to read. Forsaking their niches, their nests, and their nooks, they went wild, simply wild, about wonderful books, choosing thin books and fat books and Cat in the Hat books, and new books and true books, and heaps of how-to books. How-to books teach you how to do things. So all the animals are getting into reading. Look at that. I love the kangaroo. The baby even has one. Oh boy. The giraffes wanted tall books. The crickets craved small books, while geckos could only read stick-to-the-wall books, because they got to be able to stick on. The pandas demanded more books in Chinese. Molly filled their requests, always eager to please. She even found waterproof books for the otter, who never went swimming without Harry Potter. Two of my favorites, otters and Harry Potter. You know why the pandas wanted books in Chinese? They're from China, so they want to be able to read in their native language. Raccoons read alone, and baboons read in bunches, and llamas read dramas while eating their lunches. Hyenas shared jokes with red-belly snakes, and they howled and hissed till their funny bones ached. Well, that's because hyenas, they sound like they're laughing when they're just kind of, it's not a bark, but that's how they make noise, and it sounds like they're laughing. So they would tell jokes, wouldn't they? A tree kangaroo who adored Nancy Drew began solving mysteries right there at the zoo, such as, why were the Bandicoot's books overdue? I wonder why the Bandicoot books are overdue. They keep falling asleep, huh? Gently, Molly taught lessons in treating books right, for the boa constrictor squeezed Crichter too tight. The baby bunnies mucked up Goodnight Moon with their paws. Giant termites devoured the Wizard of Oz. Look at that. They're chewing it all up. And they got paw prints, and he squeezed it too tight. We got to take good care of books. It's hard when you get excited, though. I get that. Here we go. Ouch. There we go. And Bear's love of books was completely outrageous. They licked the pictures right off of the pages. Seriously? Do we lick books? Tasmanian devils found books so exciting that soon they had given up fighting for writing. They made up adventures so thrilling and new that the others decided to be authors too. Pythons wrote with their tails. Penguins wrote with their bills, and porcupines wrote with their very own quills. That's what a porcupine is made of, is quills, and they pulled one to use as a pen to write. Silliness. At the new insect zoos, bugs were scribbling haiku. Haiku is a type of poem. And the scorpion gave each one a stinging review. So not a good review, okay? A cannibal twig, this is a walking stick. A cannibal twig silently devours a leaf, eating, not eaten. And he says, pretentious. Dung beetle. Roll a ball of dung, any kind of poo will do, baby beetle bed. He goes, stinks. Well, of course it stinks, it's poo. But that's what that's what dung beetles do, is they roll up poop and they use it. I know. Millipede. I dig for treasure in my enchanted castle, a rotten apple. Boring. Hey, he's trying. Giant hissing cockroach. Hiss, 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 hiss. Hiss, 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 hiss. Hiss, 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 hiss. Redundant. Redundant means he kept saying the same word again and again, but they hiss. That's what a giant hissing cockroach does. As the cheetah's new novel began to take shape, he read chapters each night to the Barbary ape. And although the gazelle couldn't spell very well, like everyone else, she had stories to tell. Imagine the hippo's enormous surprise when her memoir was given the Pulitzer Prize. The Pulitzer Prize is a prize given for good writing, either in the newspaper or a book or things like that here in our world, okay? So the hippo got a Pulitzer Prize for her memoir. With so many new books, Molly knew what to do. She hired 12 beavers, a stork, and a gnu to build a branch library there at the zoo. Then the animals cried, we can do it ourselves. We can check out the books. We can put them on shelves. And they did. And they do. Up to this very day. 3 cheers for the zooberry. Hip, hip, hooray! So there's a zooberry, a zoo library. How about that one? When you visit the zoo now, you surely won't mind if the animals slow down. If the animals seem just a bit hard to find. They're snug in their niches, their nests, and their nooks, going wild, simply wild, about wonderful books. Well, I don't know about you. I find a good book. I can't put it down either. And this book is dedicated to their favorite author. So Judy Sierra, who wrote the book, and Mark Brown, who did the pictures, dedicated this book to Theodore Seuss Geisel. In other words, for Dr. Seuss. Pretty neat. And I bet Dr. Seuss would love this story because, you know, he loved books and he loved animals. So that's it for tonight. Good night. Sleep tight. Till next time. Bye now.